Hey guys, Michelle Mangus here, and I haven't connected as often as I thought I would. I was hoping to get just any type of private practice online for you guys. Um, and it's hard. I might get my practice in and halfway through it realize I haven't connected on live, or I'm just being selfish that day and I just want to enjoy my practice. But the reason that is because there's been so much going on. This year, this new year, has just started off with a blast. It's just going completely in the right direction. And that really kind of came about with my mindset. So, um, right about the end of 2020, and the 2020 was like this. It was kind of like a roller coaster, right? I'm an internal optimist, and I'm always trying to find something positive about it. So I love the fact that I was able to spend time with my family. We had just bonded. There was one other time that we were able to do this, and it was actually right before all this happened in 2019. My oldest daughter graduated, and we went all over Europe. We uh, were first in Paris and then in Rome, and we took trains and planes, took a cruise ship across the Greek islands, and overlooked Venice, and then we ended up taking a ferry boat over to where my family is from in Montenegro, and spent some time there, about 2 weeks there, and it's just incredible. It was just traveling across the world like that kind of created a bond within us that was so strong, I can't even explain it. And then just going through that experience and, not staying at the resorts and kind of just living in with the people for more than just a week or, 10 days, like actually living in the midst of all of it. It was awe-inspiring, but I don't think we can afford to do that every year, time-wise, financially, sadly. But I took the pandemic as a time for us to heal as a family and just to reconnect. I think a lot of times we end up trying to keep our kids safe by keeping them active, and we forget that, a lot of what they need is us. And so, there's this hamster wheel that we put ourselves on, where we rush into work, and we do the best that we can, and then we're rushing off to these sporting activities, and very rarely do we ever get to enjoy a dinner together. So that used to be a luxury, and then when the pandemic happened, it was like, oh, this is great. Everyone started liking eating my home cooked healthy meals. I love that. I've also gotten a little bit better, and I found out what everyone likes. So they're kind of like the same recipes over and over again, which I will keep sharing them with you because they're really, really healthy, really easy. And if you're struggling, if this pandemic has taken you in a position where you're struggling, I'm telling you, dinners are pennies on the dollar. So DM me if you want to see any awesome homemade recipes. I will also periodically be posting them and sharing that with you, because it is just as important for us to move as it is for us to be mindful of what we put into our body. So that being said, two more fun things that have happened this year that have been kind of keeping me from connecting out here every day. I accomplished a 5-day fast, which I did not think I would ever do. And it's truly mind over matter. It took a little bit. I had to practice a few times. I got close like 4.5 days, and then I blew it. So yeah, 2021 started off that way for me. So that was a major accomplishment. And I also plan on doing this with my age. I'd like to up it to 4 times a year. So, but maybe just 1 more year. I don't know. So look forward to that if you would like to join me. I had people message me after my challenge saying that they would like to join another group. It's almost like a support group. It's not really a challenge because it's really hard. So if you fast for 1 day, we can support you. If you fast for 2 days, we'll support you. If you fast for 5 or 6 days, we can support you. And I pretty regularly do a 1 or 2 day fast. So I will be, just because spring is coming around the corner, and I always like to take this time of the year to just kind of cleanse myself and maybe perhaps do some of the purging that I did, purge some of the damage that I've done during the pandemic and over the winter. So, but it's just it's a nice way to stay accountable. A lot of times we're excited about spring or spring break. For us, it's always been spring break. We can't wait for summer. And so if you have things to do, places to see, little trips, or maybe even, just any type of, I don't know, anything that you have to look forward to. Just kind of put that in the back burner of your mind and start being conscious of what you're eating, how you're preparing food. If it's taking you too long and that's the problem, let's minimize it. I'm all about ease, pre-planning, leftovers, spicing them up, all of that stuff. And one more piece of news I would like to share with all of you. We've decided to put our family home on the market. So it's such a bittersweet. I have loved being in this place every second. It was a design that me and my husband both worked on, and he built it and I designed it. Or I shouldn't say I designed it, I decorated it. I should say that. I decorated it. And we've raised, 4 amazing children in this house and had wonderful parties and pictures along the staircase, and built relations with our neighbors. And so it's been just a very lovely, lovely place to be. But it is going up for sale, and we plan on moving into another new construction home that my husband is almost finished with, and one step closer to our adventures down in Florida. Tampa Bay area, Sarasota is where we hope to land. So while I don't think I'll ever miss the cold from up here, I will miss lots of other things. So I'm just planning on spending this next year just focusing on, touching base with relationships that I haven't, connected with in a while because of work or children, and being mindful of everything around me, perhaps enjoying all the local restaurants, and once everything gets back to normal, and just absorbing every aspect of my life here, because this is where I have spent most of my life. And probably lots of you don't know, but there was a period where I lived in Florida, and then I ran right back up home where my family was. So there's a major sense of grounding that I have in this area. But now my family is all off enjoying the warmer weather, and we would like to join them. So lots of big stuff going on. I hope that we can start creating relations where we can start sharing our stories together, staying connected through bits and pieces of the sacred practice that I love so much, and just enjoying this next year together, staying positive, motivating each other, non-judgment. We're just all trying to get there, man. And I think it could be a much better place if we collectively just share amazing energy. So that being said, I'm going to see if I can set this up down here a little lower. We might catch a little bit more light. And I will start on just a really yummy slow flow practice today. So I'm just going to go ahead and just scooch back a little bit here. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and come into a cat-cow position. And I just want you to go ahead and we're going to arch the spine, look up, and release. Let's do that 2 more times and arch the spine as much as you can. And as you exhale, release. Take the chin all the way into the chest. Round the back. Keep pushing through those shoulders. And come into neutral tabletop position. Let's go ahead and just start to wag the tail, I call this, right? Let's just wag that tail. Side to side. Noticing any sensations that might come across the hip area. And when you're ready, just go ahead and curl the toes under, push back, downward dog. Take a deep bend in the knees. Walk the fingertips out. Try to get the chest down. Push through the heels. Find the connection through the earth. Find your center. Begin to connect with your breath. When you're ready, just go ahead and step forward. And just fold all the way in. Take your arms and wrap them back behind your shin. Take the head down a little lower. Nice, long, deep breaths. Fingertips come down to the ground. Come into a nice flat back. Exhale, fold in again. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Let me see if I can turn this just a little bit. So just go ahead and come into mountain pose right here, and I want you to go ahead and reach up high. So we're just going to go ahead and come up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, lift, flat back. Exhale, step or jump to the back and lower. I wasn't sure if there was enough room to jump back there. I had to check. And come on back into downward dog. Keep pushing through those heels. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. And when you're ready, just come back down to the knees. Just wanted to get a little length in the spine. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of get into a nice little stretch here. So I want you just to go ahead and come all the way back into child's pose. Reach the hands above and just drop the head down. So bones really are getting pushed down as far back to the heels as you can. Head comes down to the ground. Just allow the body to sink. Keep breathing. Notice how the circulation of the air is moving through you. It's the life energy, the life force. So make sure that you feel the heat coming off you. Okay, that's the stale, the stagnant air, the energy can pull you down. And what you'll notice is the more you exhale, or the more you let go, the more you'll create space for. So really kind of exhale the heat, inhale the energy. When you're ready, bring your hands down towards the chest. Lift up and away. Now this is just we're just gonna take the right arm and just thread it right through the opening and just drop that shoulder down onto the ground. And go ahead and lift off and come on over to the other side. So we're just going to thread the arm right through the opening and drop the shoulder. And slowly lift up. Come back to neutral tabletop position. I don't know about you guys, but I have learned to stretch and move. And so sitting behind a desk or sitting at a chair or working on the computer just locks my hips in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and push forwards and backwards. And a lot of you that sit behind the desk all day or on the computer, that psoas muscle gets really, 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 really tight, right? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and bring your right knee forward. Just slide it right up. There we go. And we're just gonna go ahead and extend the shin so that it is parallel to your yoga mat. And push yourself up a little bit, okay? So you really wanna push through the back leg. And you want to try to get your knee to point down. So now this is a great rotation of the hip, okay? Take your time. You can add a little bit of pressure if you wish, but just make sure that that extended leg, the knee, is down. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. And just go ahead and stay right up here for a moment. You can also hold on to the right foot with your right hand. So you can use with your left hand. So you can use the right hand to keep the knee down a little bit. And this is giving me a really, really nice stretch in my psoas muscle because I'm pushing my right hip down. And then I'm actually keeping the left, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I'm pushing my left hip down and my right leg I'm just kind of controlling with my upper body. So it's an extreme external rotation. Take your time, listen to your body. A couple more breaths right here. Allow everything just to settle in. And then release and come forward. Take a few breaths right here. Now keep pushing that breath into that space. So if you feel any tension, just exhale the breath into that area that's holding on to the tension. Don't be afraid to use the Ujjayi breath. Slowly begin to push yourself up and away. And just go ahead and roll over to the right side of the body. You're just going to go ahead and bring the other leg right through. Flex the foot, and you can keep the right foot onto the inner part of the thigh. As you flex your foot, inhale, reach up high. Exhale, bring the head down to the knee. Inhale, lift. Make sure you take your time. Lifting up as many times as you need to create length in the spine. Tuck the navel into the spine and breathe. Lift up for a moment and just readjust your torso so that you are facing a 45-degree angle. Elongate from your spine, and I want you just to take your peace fingers and maybe your middle finger and just glide underneath your ankle or your shin. Inhale, reach up high. As you exhale, you can reach for the toes, not important if you can't, grab them. And I want you to start tucking the head underneath the armpit. Shifting the body so that you're lifting your heart up towards the ceiling. You should feel a nice long side body stretch here, so just enjoy it. What a nice twist. Now let's see if we can do just one little trick right here. We come into compass pose. So the hamstrings should be nice and stretched. Our hips should be nice and stretched. Let's see what we can do. Let's go ahead and just bring the right foot into the inner thigh again. And this time, you're just gonna go ahead and grab your left arm and start shimmying it underneath your left leg. Okay, now let's grab the outside of the left foot. Take your time, and you're gonna use a little bit of the force with your left arm to push that leg back. And whenever you're ready, whenever you're ready, get your dreads out of the way. There we go. Hold right here. Breathe into it. Smile if you can. And just release. Oh, does that feel good? Take your left leg. Now, I just said it was going to be a nice stretch. I didn't say it was going to be an easy stretch. Or did I? Maybe I did. Doesn't matter. We've moved on. So now take your time and just allow your body to get adjusted to the half lotus. Okay, our knees, we really need to take the time to be good to our knees, to be soft to them. They will perform a lot better than what we give them credit for a lot longer of a time if we behave and take really good care of them. So listen to the knees, please. Now, one of the things that I started practicing was the Ashtanga yoga practice, and I have to be careful because I tend to push myself a little too far, but it's an amazing practice with a lot of movements that help the joints and the tendons around the knees. So check it out. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and see if we can come into a full lotus position. Now, I am not feeling it with this knee as much as I should, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this leg up and see if I can come into it. Yeah. So you want to really kind of do even Steven on both sides of the body, but sometimes there's certain body parts that you just have to give a little bit more attention to at that particular time. Doesn't mean always. Just give it some time, and I promise you'll really be happy that you did. Okay, so now let's release this. And let's just come on over to our bellies and slide back down. So what I'm gonna have you do now is just grab. You're gonna grab one foot and then the other, and we're just gonna give the body a little counter pose, right? So I want you to inhale and just lift. Keep pushing the feet into the hands and lift. How are you doing? And release. Nice. Take your cheek down to the ground. your hands onto your feet and push the heels down towards the buttocks. You can even begin to flip the grip a little bit. So you might feel a little tension or maybe even a little release in the lower back. Let's try that again. So holding onto your feet, I want you just to go ahead and lift up. 1, 2, 3. Come on, here we go. Squeeze. Keep lifting. Push the foot into the hand in the foot. Come on. I'm doing this right along with you. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go. Take the right cheek down to the ground and just release the feet. Take a few breaths right here. I also like to rock the hips just a little bit side to side. Oh, doesn't that feel so good? So much of our lower back, the issues that we have in our lower back is attached to our hips. And when we're in a seated position for long periods of time, or even in a standing position for long periods of time, the compression happens in the psoas muscle that is attached to the hip, that connects to the back and ties into the hamstring. And you can keep going on and on and on, but it all connects, okay? So let's go ahead and push ourselves back up into a nice downward dog. Oh, this feels so nice. And whenever you're ready, just go ahead and step forward. Nice. And inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bring the hands down to the ground. Fold in one more time. Take the hands flat and just jump back. Lower halfway. Lower halfway or all the way. And then lift. Okay. How are you doing? Come on back. Take the left leg and just bring it right through. Now the back leg, you're just gonna keep at a 45-degree angle and rise. Come down a little lower. And when you're ready, we're gonna wrap the hands back behind our back. Roll the shoulders back and release. Come down into humble warrior. And release the hands down to the ground. Just step right back. Come into your plank position. I'm trying to find an angle here. So, coming back into your plank position. And then lower halfway down. Now when you lower halfway down into your chaturanga, you want to bring the elbows in tight. Nice and tight. And smile, right? Lift up. Come on back. Right foot comes forward, right? Okay. Take that back leg, bring it at a 45-degree angle, and reach up. Take the hands back behind your back. Interlace the fingers. Look up. Come on down. Do what you can. Keep breathing. Push through those legs. Keep the belly in tight, arms up over the head. Push the breath. Come on up. Nice. All the way up. And then take the hands down and just bring the leg back behind you. Let's do one more flow. Hinge forward, right? Halfway down. Hold it right here, chaturanga, for 5, 4, 3, 2. Tops of the feet to the earth. Lift up 1. Come on back. Nice. Let's take the left leg, bring it forward. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and just, let's bring this shirt in, leg out, shirt in, leg out. And we're gonna go ahead and lift again. So you wanna kind of keep that shin parallel to your mat. Hold onto your foot, lift up. So the knee is down on the ground, right knee is onto the ground. And you really wanna try to keep that leg a little more towards the center line and not out, right? How are you doing? Thanks for joining. Keep pushing. Pushing down the pelvic floor. Take your time, catch your breath. Just enjoy this pose. Enjoy this moment. So something that I wanted to mention, this is a topic of conversation we had today in our home. And it was a topic that I wish I would have known about in my life many years ago. And that is, we cannot predict what's gonna happen in the future. And we can't get nervous, and we can't say what if, and we can't say, we can't create that anxiety because then we're living in the future. And you can't predict that. There's no sense in living in the past. What's done is done. And from there, only lessons are to be learned. There are no regrets. Everything is a lesson. Everything is an intention for us. It was something that was just set aside from the universe, from Mother Nature, from the God of your understanding. It is what it is. What's cool is when you get to the point where you can, come on down. When you get to the point when you can acknowledge this and you can see that the only person you can control is yourself, and that your responsibility is to sit back and enjoy the present moment. When you sit back and live in the moment, you can assess the situation around you. You can make a note if this is working for you or not. You can tune into your vibration or your passion or your kriya, your creative energy. So the only gift that we all have is our own energy, our life force. That is it. Everything else, we just need to understand that there is no control. And when we sit back and we analyze, it gives us great perspective on what decisions we need to make, what advances or, unadvances that we need to take advantage of. Okay, slowly release, come back out of this and take your right leg and bring it forward. And I want you just to go ahead and left leg comes in, right leg comes forward, flex those toes, inhale, reach up. Exhale, come on down. So let's all focus in on living in the present moment, following through with our intentions, which I used to always correlate intentions with goals, and they are not, because goals are set for the future. An intention is a present moment, and connecting to that present moment is divine. Head down to the knee, please. And just release, push yourself up a little bit. And let's take these 3 fingers, slide them underneath your ankle perhaps, and just take your arm up high, nice and high over the head, and reach over for those toes, nice. And then maybe you can even just look underneath your underarm. Nice full side body stretch. And release. All right, now let's come into that little compass pose trick. Okay, so take your body and leave this left leg bent, and then the foot is in the inner part of the thigh. We're just gonna go ahead and just reach forward. So you kind of wanna like lean and start tucking that arm underneath the back of the leg, right? And then with this hand, with your left hand, you're gonna reach for the outside of your right foot. And here we go. One side is always better than the other. So good luck, enjoy. How are you doing? And smile. There's gonna be a side that's gonna be easier to smile through, I promise. And when it happens, you'll be so excited. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release, nice and slow. Now take that leg and just bring it right across. Ah, that feels so good. And again, take your time. One side is gonna be, again, easier than the other. We still want to come into half lotus pose and let this knee settle in. So you can take these simple poses and hold them for as long as possible. In this particular sequence, it allows you for you to come into the compass pose a little easier. But these exercises are so great, modified, in a yin practice. Do your flow in between each exercise for a more aggressive, heated flow, power flow, and you'll feel wonderful benefits from these stretches. So let's go ahead and come into a full lotus. Remember, if you have any issues and you still want to practice your full lotus, but one side is giving you a little trouble, just periodically try it, but go to the side that is working with you today, because we don't want to stress the body out in any way, especially the knees. Let me see if I can see who's all joined. Okay, let me come out of this just to take a peek here. Hi, Patrick Slater. Hannah, ringing. Big boy. Verpano, awesome. Hello. Hello, all you beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining. And let's go ahead and we came into this full locust position. And let's just go ahead and extend the legs all the way out and come into our bow pose. Okay, so as you come back into your bow pose, let me see if I can get into a different position this time. You're gonna come into your bow pose and just grab onto your feet and lift. And release. One cheek to the ground. We got a little carpeting here. And hold on to the feet. Keep pushing those heels a little closer to your glutes. And when you're ready, lift up. I always feel like a little heartbeat in my belly after my bow pose. I don't know what that is, but it kind of feels good. All right, so now again, push those feet. Come on this way. You're gonna push those feet into your hands, and you're gonna rise and keep lifting. I always try to smile. You ever catch yourself doing a pose and you're like in class and it's super hard? You're like, you could just tell you got that face on. You look up and everyone looks afraid. So smile. I always smile. And release. Take the cheek down to the ground. Release the legs. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me today. Stay right here and just enjoy your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Take a few breaths. Start to sink into the earth. Allow Mother Nature, the earth, to hold you, to cradle you. You're protected and safe now. And as you continue to take your breath, focus on the rhythm. Focus on your desire. Focus on this time to become limitless. To pull away from any physical limitations, any physical handicaps. Focus on just allowing your body to melt away. For the next few moments, begin to connect to the divine of your understanding. Practicing the sensation of letting go with each exhale of your breath. Practicing feeling practice acknowledging, noticing a thought, a sensation, an emotion, and not allowing it to resonate with you. Connect with that and let it pass. You are love. You are worthy. You are special. And I love you. Thank you so much for joining me today and every day. Please DM me or connect with me and scroll through my feeds as I'll keep posting these classes. May the light and spirit in me bow to the light and spirit in you. Namaste. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.